Om. 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 Sahana bhavatu. Sahano bhunaktu. Sah viryam karavavahai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu. Ma vidvishavahai. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sairam, everyone. I would like to start with last week's session. If there are any questions, I will address them. If not, we can go to two other verses. Sairam, Sister Vani, please go.
Sairam, brother. So in the first verse, there karma cham buddhi yukta. The meaning of the verse was the wise ones united with buddhi, having given up the fruits born of action, free from the bondage of birth, indeed attain the state which is free from disease. And you were mentioning the disease is the eye disease. But can't we interpret this as the disease is the cycle of birth and death?
Yes, sister, you can take that also as a disease. The cycle of birth death is the result of the disease of eye.
Okay.
So the day you get rid of eye, you are not born again.
Okay.
As long as we identify with the body,
Yes.
birth cannot be avoided. So both are related, sister. So the disease of eye is the rebirth.
Okay.
Okay. So yes, that's the one which is sticking to us, and the symptoms, like a bout of any ailment. We again and again come back to life and live. It's like it's like cough. You breathe in and breathe out, and that is birth and death. So the coughing bout of the disease of eye is being born again and again.
Okay, good.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. I have another question about the next verse,
Okay.
which is the Yada Te Moha Kalila.
Kalilam.
Yeah, that one, the meaning was said when your buddhi crosses beyond the confusing mass of delusion, then you attain disregard of what has been heard and what is yet to be heard. Is that the state of jnani? I'm trying to compare that with the Sathya Sai Vahini.
Yes, sister. This is actually of a person who has attained samadhi,
Okay.
who has attained jnana,
Yeah.
who has identified his self with the Atman.
Mhm.
That's only such a person is nirvedam. And nirvedam means has no need for Veda.
Because he knows everything.
Yeah, he has used it, and
Yeah.
it's like in all of us, if you're climbing a ladder to get somewhere, once you reach the place where you want to reach, there's no need, no ladder anymore. You are crossing a river in a boat. Once you reach the other side, the other shore, there's no boat.
And you and God are one.
Pardon?
That person and God are one.
Yes, yes.
Oneness is achieved. So
That's my understanding.
thank you, brother.
So I think those are the only two questions then. And then we'll proceed to today's two verses. It may become a slightly shorter version, a shorter session, but we'll go through them. So this is the final shloka in the Buddhi Yogam category by Krishna. Shruti vipratipanna te yada sthasyati nischala samadha vachala buddhistada yogam avapsyasi. Shruti vipratipanna te yada sthasyati nischala samadha vachala buddhistata yogam avapsyasi. Shruti vipratipanna te yada sthasyati nischala samadha vachala buddhistada yogam avapsyasi. We'll just pay attention to any spelling, pronunciation related aspects. In the first verse, first line, sthasyasi here, the sta, the tha is an aspirated consonant, second letter in the tha class of consonants. So it has to be aspirated. Stha. Samadha vachala, the dha is also aspirated because the fourth letter in the third class of consonants, dha. Then again, buddhi. I think we have discussed this so many times. Again, dhi, uddhi. The second dha in the compound letter, uddha, is aspirated. We will look at sandhi-related changes. So in the first line, there are no sandhi-related changes. In the second line, samadha vachala is made up of two words, samadhau and achala. The au plus a becomes ava. So it becomes dhau plus a becomes dhava. So that's how samadha vachala comes from samadhau achala. The next word is buddhistada. It's made up of two words, buddhi and tada. Visarga in the buddhi becomes is. So it becomes buddhistada. The next word is yogam avapsisi, made up of two words again. Yogam and avapsisi. Plus a becomes ma, so it becomes yogam avapsisi. We will look at the word-to-word meaning. Shruti vipratipanna. This is a very, it's a word which has been commented in many different ways. So I will just explain to you because great acharyas have commented. So I will not put them here, but I will describe it. And if you all want, it's available online. Anyone can read. Shruti means the Vedas. Vipratipanna. People generally say someone who is confused about it and who have overcome that confusion. This is generally the meaning given by Adi Shankaracharya and Ramanujacharya. But Vipratipanna itself can be very confusing, as the word itself is considered to be confused. So I have tried to tackle it slightly differently. So what I have tried to do is, Shruti is Vedas. Like Sri Ramanujacharya's, this Shruti means should not be confused with Vedas. Is what you hear everywhere. Is also mentioned. Sri Adi Shankaracharya says Vedas give you the do's and the don'ts, the worldly achievements, as well as the heavenly attainments and things like that. So people can be confused which is important, which is not important. But then they come to a stance at some end, so confused that they suddenly establish in samadhi. So that confusion is needed is the way both acharyas have said. But I've just given slightly different meaning. I will explain. Shruti means what is heard from the Lord, Vedas. So whenever Sri Krishna has used this word, he has used what is heard from the Lord, Shruti, Vedas. Vipratipanna. In the Vipratipanna, there are two words, two sections you can say. Actually, V is the prefix added to Pratipanna. Pratipanna means to understand it properly, understanding anything. But then everyone says, why V? V is negation of that also is said. Or its confusion is also the way it has been commented on. But Pratipanna is understanding means. V is the supreme, the highest understanding of the Shruti. Because the Vedas start off with Karma Kanda. They come to Upanishad section, that's also Shruti. They are a sadhaka, a person who is swadhyayi, one who is studying regularly, will have the highest understanding of the Vedas, the highest understanding for such a person. So whose intellect is that, is the way I have understood. So we have taken as Vishesha or Viveka to represent those two. Because I took the liberty of saying that because so far in the Buddhi Yoga, Krishna has been teaching that a person who is endowed with Buddhi Yoga uses a discrimination to discard anything worldly. He will not go after them. So at this point in time, he's only talking about that person because it's a final, a summary verse you could say. So I have said a person, an intellect, which will come later, which has excellent, highest, discriminative understanding of the Vedas. Okay. Te, your. Yada means when. When. Stasyati. Stasyasi. It's a future tense. That means when it will be. It's when it is established in the future. So I have used the word will be established. When we, okay. Nischala. Nischala means, chala means to move, favor. Nischala means not to be wavering. So unwavering. Samadhau is the next word. Samadhau is the seventh vibhakti. That means in samadhi. Achala means again like nischala, but unmoving. Buddhi is buddhi. So what Krishna is saying, when your buddhi is unwavering, unmoving, is established in samadhi, then when it has an understanding which is exceptional of the Vedas, the word of God. Only then it will be established in samadhi in an unwavering, unmoving manner. Tada, then yogam avapsis. Yoga means merging or joining. Merging or joining. Avapsise means will attain, again, the future tense. So I will go through the summary once. When your unwavering, unmoving buddhi will have the highest understanding of the Vedas, it will be established in samadhi. Then you will obtain union or yoga. So in every chapter in the Gita talks about yoga, which is merger with the Lord. So that merger or joining with the world, with the Lord, happens when we reach a point of samadhi as a result of full understanding of what is the word of God, when the buddhi is unwavering and unmoving and steady. So this is the final verse of this Buddhi Yogam by Sri Krishna. I have a couple of excerpts from Swami's. I also took this first one is from Sandeha Nivarani. And because this confusion of understanding Shruti, I thought what are the obstructions is something which we can take a look at. So the question, most of you who have read Sandeha Nivarani know it's in a question and answer form. The question as an aspirant and answer as Swami were both written by Swami. So he has written the questions of every devotee, all the devotees, and he has given the answers. Sandeha Nivarani was one of the first piece of writing of Swami from 1958. Question: even to mumukshus, aspirants for moksha, liberation, people say there are three pratibandhakas, obstructions. What are those one? Mumukshu means one who desires moksha. Mumukshu. Just like Jijnasu is one who wants knowledge, desire for knowledge. Mumukshu is one who has desire for mumukshu. I think in Vivekachudamani, there are three things which are essential for this spiritual final attainment, as Adi Shankara Charya says. Manushyatvam, mumukshatvam are two. One of the Manushyatvam means humanity. Just not that form of the body, human, but humanity. And the second one is mumukshatvam, desire for liberation. Third one is association with great people. That's what people who can impart knowledge. So mumuksha, that's mumuksha. Then Swami goes on to answer. Yes. Bhuta, Vartamana, Bhavi, Pratibandhakas. That is obstructions of the past, Bhuta, present, Vartamana, and future, Bhavi. What is Bhuta Pratibandhaka? The obstructions of the past. Recollecting and remembering the past and getting affected by it. Question. And Vartamana Pratibandhaka, the obstructions of the present. That itself operates in four ways. Vishayasakti, Kutarkam, Prajnamandyam, Viparyaya Duragraham. Here, Vishayasakti means getting attracted to the sensory world experience. Due to the tendencies of the mind while listening to the poetic meaning given by elders and the wise. There is in the Shastras, Shruti itself, When we listen to, we get attached to the Vishaya portion. Vishaya asakti means desire, attachment to Vishaya. So even when Shruti is heard, mind naturally has a selective processing. It attaches to anything which will grant us the pleasures of the Vishaya. Okay, this is a confusion of listening to the Shruti also. It's like going to pray to God also. We ask for worldly things. That's all Vishaya Sakti. Prajna Mandhyam means not being able to grasp the teaching of the elders and of the wise. Mandha means something which is blunt or unable to grasp. Prajna means prajna is knowledge. Prajna means absolute knowledge. When that is slightly low in how it is expressed, then we will not be able to grasp the real teachings of the Shruti. The third one is Kutarka, mean misinterpretation with contrary meanings in the teachings of the elders and of the wise. So that sometimes we may hear something, but we misinterpret based on our own maturity or so. So that also can become an obstacle. The last one is Viparyaya Duragraham means when a dushta buddhi, wicked attitude makes one feel as a great scholar and justifies one's own wrong statements as correct. So Duragraha means wrong grasp. Okay. Viparyaya means Viparya, it's also some sort of form of Maya which covers. So what happens is one person may feel, I understand. So we always have to, even whatever understanding we had to release some room, say, thinking that there will be a trace of ignorance in our understanding and submit to the Lord to clarify that. If we get past all these only, we can get to some level of yoga. Okay, this is from Sandhya Nivarani, chapter 11, Obstacles to Moksha. Here's another excerpt from Gita Vahini itself. If you have an eye on the fruits of your actions, you are liable to be affected by worry, anxiety, and restlessness. The question may arise, if the fruits have to be given up, how can one manage to live? But why this weakness of heart, this nervousness? He who has assured Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam, I will absolutely take care of your worldly and spiritual needs, will certainly look after that. He will give the wherewithal and the means. After all, you have to consider, is a happy life important or is liberation from the cycle of life and death more important? Happy living is only for a short duration. The joy of liberation is eternal, unshakable. On this point, many commentators have exercised their intelligence and written differently. Many have said that the giving up for the phala or fruit is advised because there is no right or authority for the doer to desire the fruit. This is a great blunder. The Lord has said in the Gita, refuse the fruit, ma phaleshu. That is to say, the deed yields results, but the doer does not desire the result or do it with the result in view. If Krishna's intention was to say that the doer has no right for the fruit, he would have said it is fruitless, na phaleshu, na meaning no. So if you desist from karma, you will be transgressing the Lord's command. That will be a serious mistake. When man has a right for engaging in karma, he has a right also for the fruit. No one can deny this or refuse his right. But the doer can, out of his own free will and determination, refuse to be affected by the result, whether favorable or unfavorable. The Gita shows the way. Do and deny the consequence. The desire for the result is your action. The desire for the result of your action is a sign of Rajoguna. The giving up of action since you cannot benefit by the fruit is a sign of Tamoguna, dullness, ignorance. To engage oneself in karma, to know that the result will follow, and yet not to be attached to it or getting concerned with it, that is a sign of Sattva purity. Karma yogi who has learned the secret of karma combined with palatyaga should have samabuddhi, equanimity, more than sangha buddhi, mind attached to the world. For the sangha buddhi draws him to the attachment and entanglements. This karma is mine, its results are due to my endeavors. I am the person entitled to it. Such are the thoughts which bind the doer. Krishna advises that one should rise above this sangha buddhi. He declared that samatvam, unruffled equanimity, is genuine yoga. Samatvam yoga muchyate. So this is from chapter 5 of Gita Vahini. It's more or less complete Swami's writing on the Buddhi Yogam in the Gita Vahini. So I thought it is very appropriate for us to read this. Yes, Sister Aruna.
Sairam, brother, I know I'm not asking for all the meanings in every Sanskrit word, but can you please, is it okay for you to say Yoga Kshema Vaham Mayam? What is that meaning of that words, please?
Yeah, yoga kshemam vahami aham.
Okay.
Aham means,
Vahamyam. Oh, aham. Okay.
aham means I.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Krishna is referring to the I, not the little I,
Okay.
but the Atma. Okay,
Mm.
Vahami means I will carry it. I will live, I will carry, I will bear the burden. Vaha is to see Bharavaha in that's a Sanskrit word. Bharavaha means one who lifts the weight, porter. You know, when you go on a trip, you get porters who will carry. In India, it's pretty common. People, they will carry on the head. So here the Krishna says, I will be your porter. I will carry your luggage on my head. So Swami also talks about we getting into a train and then still carrying our luggage on our head. Train will carry the luggage. Just put it next to you and you enjoy the journey. So Krishna is saying, I will. There's so many discourses to Swami on Yoga Kshema. Swami says yoga means ability to merge with the Lord, the spiritual progress. The kshema of that means the welfare of that journey he takes care of. It's not the worldly actually. It is the kshema of the yoga. Kshema means welfare. Kshema means how is your kshema means how are your well-being. So kshemam is welfare, okay, well-being of yoga, the ultimate merger. So that he will carry. He may not carry the worldly weight sometimes. That's why people get fed up sometimes. Oh Lord, you are not. But the thing is, he will give the wherewithal necessary for you to pursue the spiritual. People think, we can roll on gold or something like that. They're mistaken. God only gives what is essential for the spiritual progress. That is what is meant by yoga kshema. So to
Thank you.
that extent, he will look after our body, our needs, essential needs. So as long as we are proceeding on the spiritual path, and they will give all the protection. Okay, I hope that's okay.
Thank you.
It's a very famous verse, sister, in the Bhagavad Gita.
I know that's the reason I wanted to know the reason.
Ananyas
Me-
chintayanto mam ye jana paripasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamya. So this is a promise given by Krishna. There are 2-3 promises Krishna has given. Swami says everyone thinks, okay, now God, we came to you, you have to start looking after us. But Swami says generally they ignore the first line. Ananyas chintayanto mam. People who only think of me without no other thought, only they get this blessing. Okay, a person who's in Buddhi Yoga, he has reached that point. So then he will look after a Karma Yogi. Okay, so I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And we will go to the next verse. This verse is a phenomenal verse. It's a question by Arjuna. Thanks to him, we are the beneficiaries. So this is the 54th verse. And the answer to this is the next 18 verses in the chapter 2, which will conclude the chapter 2. So after we read this, there are 18 verses left. So we will go through this verse. Arjuna Vacha Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha Samadhisthasya Keshava Sthitadhi Kim Prabhasheta Kimasita Vrajeta Kim. Arjuna Vacha Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha Samadhisthasya Keshava Sthitadhi Kim Prabhasheta Kimasita Vrajeta Kim. Arjuna Vacha Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha Samadhisthasya Keshava Sthitadhi Kim Prabhasheta Kimasita Vrajeta Kim. We'll pay attention to some of the pronunciations. Sthi, the th is aspirated. Prajnasya ka, no aspiration. Bha, again is aspirated. Sha is cerebral sha. Bha, sha. In the samadhi, the dhi is again aspirated. Stha, the th is also aspirated. So this th, Keshava. Sthita dhi, again sthi, the th is aspirated and dhi is aspirated. Kim prabhasheta, again bha is aspirated, sha is cerebral sha. Kimasita prajeta kim, no aspirations. We'll look at the sandhi related changes. There is only one sandhi related change. I'll go straight to that. Kimasita is made up of 2 words, kim, asita. plus a becomes ma, kima. Kim asita becomes kim asita. All the other words stand alone without any sandhi related changes in this verse. We look at the word-to-word meaning. Sthita prajnasya. Of the Sthita prajnaha. Who is Sthita prajnaha? Prajna means perfect knowledge, full knowledge, complete knowledge, knowledge of who one is. Sthita means well established. One whose perfect knowledge is steady and well established. Such a person, of such a person, ka bhasha, ka means what? Bhasha means definition, description. What is the description or definition of such a person? Because Krishna has already introduced the concept of Sthita Prajna in the previous verses. So Arjuna is interested. He wants to know, okay, please define this person. Why he is asking for this definition is so that we also can test for ourselves whether we are moving in the right direction. Samadhisthasya is the next one. So he is giving two descriptions of that person. Sthita and Samadhistha. Samadhisthasi means of the Samadhistha. Who is this Samadhistha? Samadhistha. So one who is established in Samadhi. So the person has complete knowledge and the person is steady. Samatvam. Samadhi Stha, who is established in that Samadhi. Keshava. Oh, Keshava. Is addressing Krishna as Keshava. Sthitadhi. So that is the first question. What is the definition of Sthita Prajna or Samadhistha? Then here's another question. It's a long question. Sthitadhi. Again, Sthita means established, firm, steady. Dhi, intellect. A person who possesses an intellect which is steady. Kim Prabhasheta. How does he speak? Kim means here, how. Prabhasheta means what will be speech? How does he speak? Means in which manner will he be speaking? Or what is his speech, you can say. Kim Asita. Asit generally means to sit. But it also means a person who exists to be. So how he remains in this world? Kim Asita. Vrajeta Kim. Vraja means to move. Vraj, everyone knows where Krishna was born. The reason is they were nomads. The cow keepers were generally nomads. They don't stay in one place. Wherever there's pasture for the cows, they will move. So Vraja means to move, to go on the move all the time. There's also another use of Vraja, Parivrajaka Sannyasi. Parivrajaka means a sannyasi who is ever on the move. He will never stay in one place for more than a night. So Vraja means to move. So Arjuna is asking, so everyone knows, okay, you have talked about this person who is Prajna Sthita, who is established in Samadhi, nothing but a Jivan Mukta. So what does he speak? Is there anything for him to speak? Will he speak? How does he sit down? Does he exist? How long? How far? What's he occupied with? And how does he move about? Does he move about, or is he in one place? So these are questions Arjuna is asking. I think which all of us ask, what does a jnani do? Will he live like a normal person, or will he not? And things like that. So very nice questions by Arjuna. We'll just look at the summary. Arjuna said, O Keshava, what is the description of a person? A person whose perfect knowledge is steady, who is established in samadhi. How does such a person whose intellect is steady, sthitadhi, speak, sit, and go? Or walk, however you want to put it. Means how does he live in this world? I think in simple words. You can also think thought, word, and deed. How is that person's thought? How is his word? How is his deed? Okay, these are three manners in which one expresses oneself. So we can also consider them as three. Okay. And I have a small excerpt from Swami's Gita Vahini. In the second chapter, Krishna has made clear in a general way 4 principal points. The Sharanagati principle, the Sankhya teaching, the path of knowledge, the yoga attitude, and the Sthita Prajna, steady wisdom, individual nature. We have noted the first 3 already. Now about the 4th. So far, we have also covered up till the 53rd verse at least. These 3 things, Sharanagati, the Sankhya philosophy, and the attitude of yoga, yoga buddhi. So now Swami says we are going to cover the 4th aspect, which is covered in the 2nd chapter. Now about the 4th. Krishna told Arjuna the nature and characteristics of Sthita Prajna, steady wisdom individual. When Arjuna questioned him, Arjuna prayed, O Keshava. And when that appellation was used, Krishna smiled. For he knew then that Arjuna had understood his splendor. Do you ask how? Well, what does Keshava mean? It means he who is Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, the Trimurti. Through Krishna's grace, Arjuna had reached the stage of realization. When Arjuna prayed that Keshava must tell him the true characteristics of a Sthita Prajna, I didn't complete the sentence because the next sentence relates to the next verse. So as you can see, Swami has summarized whatever we have studied so far in the chapter 2. And he's also talking about Arjuna asking him the question about Sthita Prajna. Is mentioning specifically Keshava. There are 3 syllables in this word, Ka, Sha, and Va. Ka is Brahma, Sha is Shiva, Va is Vishnu. So the first time Arjuna used the word Keshava, which means one who is of the form of the Trimurtis, one who is responsible for all the 3 things in this world. 3 of this, creation, sustenance, and destruction or merger. So that's all is the excerpt so far. So I will stop here. Yes, Sister Vani.
Sairam, brother, the previous verse, it says, when you have unwavering and unmoving buddhi, and then when you have the understanding of Vedas, you will have established in samadhi. So when we mean by you will have the understanding of Vedas, it's not necessarily like, we talked about in Sathya Sai Vahini as well, that, Swami's teaching itself is considered as Vedas, not necessarily we have to go through.
So I think we discussed, sister.
Yeah.
I don't think we discussed it completely.
I know. That's why
Yeah, Swami categorizes Vedas is beyond everything, word of God. Even the words of even God in human form and all the other messengers of God, or those who are endowed with divine attributes, Swami says they're limited. The reality is they point the way, no doubt. If it was that simple, everyone will be a Jnani today. Swami in Sathya Sai Vahini summarizes all his teachings. But to understand that, sometimes we have to go back to the source. Because most people are reading only the translation of the Vahini which Swami wrote in Telugu. There's a nice discourse in which Swami says, he's all talking to the students. I think it was a discourse on Prashnopanishad. I think Swami delivered in 91, in which he's saying, I'm talking of very high philosophical principles to you all today. Prashnopanishad is a very complex text. And I'm explaining to you. But many of you don't know Sanskrit. You rely on English translations. So you will miss most of it. And these are Swami's words. We should understand Swami communicated to a vast spectrum of people. Swami, from the kindergarten to the advanced, Swami tried to teach. It's not an easy affair. So because of that, even the highest principles are not fully dwelt on by Swami. But what he has done is he has pointed us to some of the texts, of which he has provided certain clarity in areas where there's confusion. Because as Swami in even today's discourse excerpt, Swami mentions there are various commentators have commented it wrongly. So this Swami stays in multiple places. So he's only clarifying some of the concepts which I am trying. But it is not humanly possible to pack everything in a Vahini or anything like that, because Swami has dialed down the concept in a human form. So, yes, if we study, if that's all we can do, it's okay. But Swami has warned us. See, the thing is, every religious teacher has tried to do this, but then the followers have their own understanding. It is true that every Sai devotee should read Swami's Vahinis. That should be our starting point, at least. Whatever else we may read, even if we go to the source, as a student of Swami, we have to read whatever he has. People can ask, should we read everything? Read as much as we can. Because ultimately, every moment spent in thinking of the Lord is the best. But of course, the full knowledge can be granted by Lord by grace, anugraha. But to get anugraha, we have to also make ourselves deserved. If the deservedness is there, understanding will come. The sources will come. Ability to understand the source also will come. The reason we are having these sessions is in the first World Conference, Swami said, every Sai center should be teaching Sanskrit. People should understand the words, the terminology used in the Upanishads, because only then they can hope to excel. So what Swami has written are summary and introduction, no doubt. But it's not easy to understand the summary, sometimes without studying or doing some further reading of the source. Because sometimes we may not even understand what Swami is trying to say. For example, Yoga Kshemam was mentioned in this. If we don't know what is the context in Yoga Kshemam, what can we understand? So we should know the full verse. We should know what Krishna is saying. So that type of study is needed, sister. We may not be able to memorize and completely understand every scripture. So Shruti is same, essential. Swami has mentioned that in a human level, it's not possible to summarize the Vedas. So that's my understanding. So there are limitations for Swami's divine avatar also. But I think as Sai devotees, we have to read Swami's teachings. With that help, we should understand the Shruti. And that will pave the way for some progress for us. So I
Very nice.
hope I
Thank you,
answered.
brother.
I
Very
hope I
nice.
answered.
Thanks.
Because I will tell you, everyone, sometimes you talk to people, will say, oh, I see Swami in everyone, I see Swami in me. This yoga is actually seeing Swami in ourselves. So the next 18 verses will tell us whether we are seeing Swami in ourselves. Just imagining, oh, suddenly in our heart, oh, there is a Swami picture showing up in our heart. We say we are just chanting Sairam, Sairam all the time. And we think we have attained that state. So that comes to Vipratipanna, incorrect understanding, obstruction, Kutarka, Prajnamantya, Viparyaya, Duragraha. All these are problems. So that's why I accepted that. Because until we study something without any full understanding, as Thiruvalluvar, I think some of you are sorry about those who are not Tamils. Katka kasadu ara katka. Study without completely no questions. Without any sandeha, without any question, without any lack of understanding. So that is needed, sisters. So we should not become complacent. And once we study one book or once we study one excerpt, then we have to face life as we have to face. So study is continuous. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, a student who is leaving the portals of Gurukula is told by the Guru, Swadhyaya na pramatitavyam. Never give up the study. Swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramatitavyam. That's what he says. Not only you should study, you also should speak about it. While speaking about the subject, understanding increases. So this is a duty of every student until they are alive. We don't have to worry when will we complete our study. And the Lord will take care of that. Yoga Kshema. But we should continuously study because otherwise the mind will be distracted and studying other things. We read news. Why are we reading news? Why are we listening to news? Why do you want to know about others? This is a question Swami is asking. Swami says when people come to Parthi, people are talking to others and finding out who they are. When you come here, you need to have only two questions. Who am I? Who is I? If you pay attention to these two, your stay here is worthwhile. So our stay on earth is also worthwhile when only these two questions take up of all of our time.
But if we make all our effort, Shraddha and Bhakti and all that, we also heard, a Jnana Guru will come and give that knowledge. So we only have to make that effort, and then Swami will give us, even though if we didn't have the chance to study the whole Veda, he will give that.
Yes, sister. So Swami, all of us coming to know Swami itself is, we have gotten that first thing addressed. But then these three kinds of obstructions, Swami says. Okay, I have not.
We are not in Sthiti Prajnana yet.
So there are three obstructions even when we listen to the Guru. Okay, which is what we read today.
Yeah.
Do we fully understand? And we can see around us all confusion because of lack of understanding. Maybe it's our own also. So I think these are obstructions which will be staring at us. Yes, even the Lord has come, but we have to do some more work to listen and study and analyze and contemplate. And I think when we go through the next 18 verses, things should become clearer. The 18 verses will tell us if there are any quality which we have somehow cultivated in us. That will give us some confidence and motivation to proceed further. So it's a long journey. But when Lord is there, journey, don't worry about the journey, is what I would say. I think as long as we hold it to Him tight, it doesn't even matter whether we have to attain moksha. So with those thoughts, that's all I have. Thank you very much, sister. Good question.
Thank you.
Sai.
Sai.
If there are no other questions, we can close the session for today and meet next Saturday and study the next 18 verses, some of the most important verses in the Bhagavad Gita. Sai Ram, everyone. We will close the session with prayer. Om Samastaloka Sukhinu Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhinu Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhinu Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram, everyone.